I want to share with you how you can use the wisdom of King Solomon to sell more music and build a fan base so your career doesn't just go up in flames. And whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. The principles are still the same. My name's Chris, also known as the Artist Manifest. I have just under 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and I love coaching artists. But the first thing you need to know when you look at the Bible and what it says about King Solomon, when he's offered the choice, when God says you can have whatever you want, you can have riches, you can have long life, he chose wisdom. And because he chose wisdom, God said, I'll give you both of these things. And this is the thing with artists, and you've heard Jay-Z talk about it, a lot of people, that artists need to get equity. You want to get the wisdom, you want to get the ability to manage the finances. Because if all of a sudden you have 1 million fans, do you even know what to do with it? Do you know how to monetize it? Do you have the merch ready? Do you have the songs ready? And it's like all of a sudden we want this success and all this stuff, but that's what tends to make artists explode because they're not ready. Their character's not ready. Their moral compass is not set. And that's why you see artists, go into drugs and sex and die and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Because they're not able to handle it. So that's why you want to get wisdom and understanding so that you can handle the pressure, handle the success. I know so many artists, in one story of an artist, and I'll leave them nameless, but they blew up so fast that they barely toured in like a van or, in a car or anything like that. They did maybe one tour in a van, and then they jumped right to the tour bus. And they toured and they had some amazing, incredible opportunities, but they were not ready to handle it character-wise. They didn't have the foundation of success. They just signed with the label. They didn't have a manager to really, watch out for them. And they just blew up. And then they literally exploded. And now they're gone. They just disintegrated. Why? Because they got the money and the fame before they had the wisdom and the knowledge. They weren't ready for it. And this is what happens to so many artists. And what bums me out is they're not even making music anymore. They're done. They're gone. And they had opportunities because, we're in some of the same tour circles that I would have only dreamed of having. But because they got the money and the fame before they had the foundation and the wisdom, they went up in smoke. So you want to seek wisdom. You want to read the books. You want to get the knowledge. Not the money first. You want to get the knowledge, and then you'll know what to do with the money, how to reinvest it. Even as a young guy, I remember we used to be able to get access to different grants and stuff like that in Canada, and sometimes it would be like almost free marketing money. And I remember all of a sudden you get this money, but again, I didn't have the knowledge, and even some of the managers that were around me, where we spent that money was stupid. It wasn't wise, and we wasted it. So it's not just getting more money, it's getting the wisdom. Like, I would rather have a great marketing idea than a huge budget. And there's been so many times where we had a big budget, but we didn't have such a great idea. And the video didn't do that well. Where sometimes we had a smaller budget, but we had a great idea. We had wisdom. We thought. That's why that book says, think and grow rich. You got to think, right? You want to have that wisdom, all right? The second thing that I've learned from King Solomon in the Bible, and whether you're a believer in God or not, it doesn't matter. In 2 Chronicles 9:3, it talks about, I think it's the Queen of Sheba, where she went to see King Solomon and whatnot. And it was actually all these kings, they brought him money. They brought him gold. They brought him silver and garments at a set year or a set rate every year, year after year, just to hear this guy speak. They would bring him money every single year. And what's the business model there? That he's got guys like kings, princes, all kinds of people paying him to hear him speak year after year. That's called recurring revenue. All right, it's the Netflix model, it's the Spotify model, it's the Apple Music model, where there's money being generated year after year. Well, you as a musician, as an artist, you're in the music business, you want to have recurring income coming year after year, whether it's set schedule on your tours, where you're making money on your tours every year, it's where you release an album or a Kickstarter and money's going to be coming in, or the fact that you've promoted your music business and you've built your fan base so much that people are just streaming your music every single year. They're not just listening to you once a year, they're listening to you every day, day after day, recurring revenue coming in. And you need to think about that. Stop thinking this just like one-off, I sell my CD or I sell this one thing and I get paid for it. No, you want to get paid year after year. This would be the difference for a producer that sells his beat once to someone and maybe gets a higher price, or he puts his beat up on BeatStars or something like that, and he licenses it, and he gets paid over and over for the same beat. That's a different mindset as opposed to get paying once or get paying over and over again. And this is why I don't understand why some artists cry about Spotify or cry about the royalty rate when, look, I sold hundreds of thousands of albums and I only got paid once for them. But when someone streams my song again, and then again, the same person because they like the song, I'm getting paid on every single stream. I don't know about you, but there's songs that I've listened to dozens of times, hundreds of times over my life. Well, do I want to get paid for every single one of those streams, or I do want to just get paid once for the CD? Again, it's a different mindset. Again, in 2 Chronicles, it talks about the Queen of Sheba. She heard about King Solomon's great fame and his knowledge and all this stuff, that she wanted to go hear him speak. Is your music so good that people talk about it? Is it so good that people are referring? And then it says when she even went and after she spent some time with him and she gave him a ton of money, gold, silver, spices, all kinds of stuff, and then heard him speak, and she's like, wow, you've actually exceeded my expectations. Wouldn't that be great with your music when someone goes to buy it, right? And first of all, they see you first, they don't hear you first, right? Your music, like, not only is the artwork good, and it could be digital, it doesn't have to be physical, it's so good, but then when they hear it, you don't disappoint. Like, I remember back in the day, I would buy an album because of the one song I heard. I'll never forget, after watching The Matrix, I forget which one it was, but there was a Rage Against the Machine song that played, and I went and bought the album because I wanted the one song, and actually all the songs blew me away. The soundtrack was amazing, but how many times did you buy an album for the one song and then the rest of the songs were garbage, right? Well, you want to make sure when you get people in with your hit that you don't just have quantity, you have quality. So you want to make sure that you're working on great songs. It's so much better. I say this to artists all the time. It's so much better that you take, say, your $10,000 album budget and you make, instead of 10 songs, make 4, make 5. Like, work with a better producer, work with better songwriters, and make less songs, but make them better, make them hits. Make less songs and use that money from that budget for a famous feature or something like that. So that your songs are so good and your fame of your songs are talked about so much that people want to come and hear it. They want to come and check it out. Like, is your music newsworthy? Is it shareable worthy? Or is it just eh? And that doesn't just come down to the quality of the mix, the master, it's the songwriting. What are you talking about? What's the conversation in the actual song, right? Because you want people sharing it. And this is one thing that has blown my mind when running Facebook and Instagram ads. We had one ad that got shared 23,000 times. So what do I mean by that? I ran a Facebook and Instagram ad to promote my music. It was to sell a CD, right? And we put tons of money behind this, and it ended up getting 23,000 shares. It got 54,000 likes. So not only are people sharing it and it getting found, but every time someone likes it, well, their friends see that they liked it. And we got millions of views on this thing. Why? Because it was a good video. It was a good song. And I can't get into all the details of the marketing, but when you have good stuff, people will share it. But some of you give up too soon. You don't even promote the song, really. You just whip them out there. You don't promote them to see even which one is the hit. This is my new CD, and I can handle the fact that even the title track isn't even the hit on this album. It's a song called Save You is one of the hits. Break the Habit is a hit. Some of these other ones are a hit. Not even the title track. Okay, I got it wrong. But I won't know until I've marketed each one hard enough and long enough to find out. And then when you find the hit, then you pour the fuel and the gasoline on that fire and you blow that song up even more. Hey, I want to invite you to our next Get More Fans 5-day challenge, where for 5 days straight, I'm going to train you live. You can ask questions when you get a VIP ticket to help you explode your fan base. Stop chasing the labels and start chasing and focusing on your fans and giving them the best music possible, and then you are the one ends up with the fortunes instead of the record label, because the fortunes are in the fan base. If you click below this video or go to 10xyourfanbase.com/live challenge, you can get a ticket. I encourage you to get a VIP ticket, because then for the first hour I do Q&A, take a look at your music and everything you got going on and help you blow it up. Never quit.